The Glenelg Hopkins CMA Works Crew works with our various land managers, in particular farmers, to help maintain and care for their waterways and wetlands in particular. We also help with community projects, protecting and enhancing woodlands. But when it comes to times of flood and fire, we swing into response and help people who are struggling at those times. Particularly farmers, retaining stock onto their properties is a priority at those times.
This farm and the whole area was engulfed in flames.
That was a bit traumatic to come back to animals that were, some of them were badly burnt. We had to euthanize some of them, unfortunately.
In total we lost 5 and there's still one that's injured that we're taking care of. We lost a shed, all our bees, our apple orchard, all of the pipes in the farm, so we don't have any water anymore, and all of the fences.
So Alex had called the CMA, thinking that maybe they could help with the fences, and they did. They actually started yesterday. They came with material, and yeah, like, this is amazing. And how it's gonna be a fireproof fence, so all metal, no more plastic, no more wood. So yeah.
Yeah, having the crew here from the CMA rebuilding all the fences has been amazing. And so yeah, that takes a big weight off our shoulders, because at least now we know that our cows aren't going to be wandering off onto the highway, so we can at least start taking care of them.
In this last 4-year period, it's been 2 significant natural disaster responses. The floods of spring 2022, that saw us swing into action, and we ended up helping 34 farmers over a 3-4 month period. And we helped reinstate 33 kilometres of fencing, and that fencing was mostly along waterways, and it helped those farmers retain stock on their property and stop them wandering or getting lost. And also it helps with animal welfare, so they can be fed and watered safely in these times when farmers might be struggling with other tasks to get back on their feet.
I can't speak highly enough of landholders. Most of the landholders, all of the landholders we get, are environmentally conscious, and it's fantastic. Most of them are under 60 years old. Their grandfathers knocked the trees out and they're now putting them back in. And some of the areas that I've been back to since I started with the CMA, the transformation is unbelievable. We've got trees, we've got cleaner waterways, stock have been taken out of the waterways. It is a real pleasure to see that sort of result after the years and years of degradation.
We've been helping land managers, farmers in particular, do about 27 hectares of riparian revegetation, and this is important to help stabilise these waterways, but also introduce habitat back into these waterways that we hope will be valuable for the local environment for decades and generations to come. In protecting those waterways, we've also undertaken 16 kilometres of fencing to help that. Our big work has been tackling about 300 hectares of woody weed infestation along waterways and some of our higher quality wetlands in the area. This sort of work includes killing blackberry and gores that tend to like the riparian areas, but also pine wildlings in the southwest of our catchment have been a big issue for some of our wetland habitats. The CMA is responsible for looking after our waterways and improving the health of our waterways, but we're not actually a land manager. So we have to work with our partner land managers. This includes private farmers, land care groups, committees of management. We've been doing some work along a rail reserve between Coleraine and Hamilton. A lot of our volunteer groups are of an elderly demographic, and they appreciate the helping hand to do some of the physical tasks in the areas they care about. But we also work with government agencies, local government and Parks Victoria. I think sometimes we have the hardest job, or the crew have the hardest job, but I think secretly they feel they have the best job. They walk away every day and are able to see what they've achieved, and then they come back next year and are able to see the effect their work's had, and see their trees getting up or their weeds gone, and see areas of waterway improving, and I think they're pretty proud and satisfied with that work.